My story begins back when I was in ninth grade. Just starting out at a big school, went from a not that small of a school to a school of about 2,000 people, much larger than what I was used to. Went into it on day one, walked out into the school property, and my lunch bag rips open all over the floor. So that was the beginning of my high school career. Throughout the ninth grade, really was challenging for me. I realized I didn't have that many close friends. Still have friends, but not really close ones that would help me along the way. In gym class and all that, I was always made fun of and picked on about being the skinny white kid and, things kind of like that. And then also it's the same year that I tried out for basketball for the very first time in my life. I never played any team basketball before, and I actually made a team through a lot of running and a lot of conditioning that I didn't really realize was part of the whole deal, but did that. And throughout the ninth grade year, I actually learned quite a bit about myself, about how much I could take, how much I could really push myself. I really owe that to my ninth grade coach, who kind of instilled in me at 14 years old the value of hard work and perseverance, and being able to really dig down deep and see how far you can push even when you have nothing left in you. So really after the ninth grade year and learning those lessons, running into the 10th grade year, was whenever I took a weightlifting class for the first time. From, I guess, the very first day that we really started to work out, I instantly fell in love. It was one of those things that I felt myself getting stronger. We made sure we wrote down our lifts, and as we went along the lifts, we got to see, how much stronger we've gotten each week, and did a lot of powerlifting, a lot of football type lifting, and it was so much fun. I was really looked forward to that every single day, coming to that class. Any days that we weren't lifting that day actually kind of upset me a little bit. So the obsession started young. Throughout the rest of high school, I still continued to play basketball. I would work out primarily just in the summers type area, mostly just to try to get buff to impress the ladies. But really, that was what I did the majority of the rest of the high school. Going into college, though, I still worked a part-time job, did school full-time, and still what happened to make my weightlifting and all that still just as important, just as obsessed about it as I have been in the past, and able to make learn things along the way throughout that process. And then really the biggest changes in my life started after college. Once I graduated college, I married my college sweetheart, and we moved into an apartment. And during that time, I started a job, and then after that, not too long after that, had hernia surgery, which put me out of lifting for 6 weeks. Came back from that, and 2 weeks later, I was let go. This was a huge shock to me and my wife, and I knew day one there's no time to waste. I really just needed to get back on the horse, and so immediately that same day, I went and did my resume, updated it, and by that night I had a job interview, and a week later I had a job with a new company, and that was definitely by the grace of God that happened so quickly. After that, I worked there for 4 months, and then they decided to promote me. They moved me down to Little Rock, Arkansas, where I am now, to be a branch manager. Unfortunately, after 1 year of that, the sales were not there, and we had to close shop and move, and actually have to move jobs. I'm now with a different company that I've been with for a year and a half now, and I love it. And it's gives me the flexibility and the ability to go see customers and be able to build relationships, stuff that I love to do anyways. And then really between right after I got that job, we shortly had the birth of our um, first daughter, and she has literally changed my entire life. She is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, obviously besides my wife too. But she is seriously my whole world. She is part of my why. Her and my wife are what I consider my why. It's what I do all this for. It's why I try to better myself, better those around me. It's just because of them. It's them who drive all of this. It's not really anything else. So there's been a ton of changes in the last couple of years for me and my wife, and um, she has been my rock through the whole thing. Changing jobs and changing cities. She's always been very supportive and helpful throughout the whole process. And without her, I couldn't have done any of this myself. But really, with throughout all this too, about a little over a year ago, I decided to join the first Phorm team, and that's why. And actually, since then, I've learned so much more about nutrition, so much more about helping people out, how to help people out, how to make things, how to do other things besides just focus on my own stuff, and just being able to help those around me. And throughout this whole process, I've learned so much, and a lot of the traits that a Legionnaire has really coincide with my personal beliefs. That being, I believe in Jesus Christ, and believe He died for our sins, and I also, and throughout knowing this and believing this, there's a lot of Christian beliefs that coincide with First Phorm. Doing the right thing, going the extra mile, serving others over serving yourselves. All these things are alongside, things that I already truly believe and have held true to my heart in this time, leading into how I am now. I've adapted and changed with the environments that have changed, whether it's now I'm getting up and having to, whether it's a workout early in the morning to get it in or late at night, it's just relentlessly putting forth the goals, putting forth the effort, and working towards it every single day and achieving anything that you set your mind to. It's really as easy as formulating a plan, sticking to the plan every day, and executing and being the best that you possibly can. And I'm Nick Maurer, and that's my story.